I'm Ian Fowler. I'm the creator of Maps, History, and Government Information at New York Public Library. Today we'll be talking about the Astronomicum Caesarium by Petrus Apianus, which is considered the finest book produced in the 16th century. Astronomicum Caesarium loosely translates as the Astronomy of the Kings. It was produced in 1540 over a period of 8 years in Ingolstadt, in what is now Germany, by Petrus Apianus for Charles V, the Holy Roman Emperor, and Ferdinand II, the King of Spain. It is an astronomical text that deals with geometric measurements of the moon, spheres, heavenly bodies, and astronomy in general. One of the most amazing things about the Astronomicum Caesarium is that even though it was produced in 1540 by a geocentric thinker, the mathematical models and the geometric models still apply today to spherical bodies in our solar system. It is one of the most lavishly illustrated books from the 16th century. It was actually illustrated and colored by Petrus Apianus himself, and only about 40 of the original first edition, of which this is, were produced. They were so astronomically expensive when they were produced that they actually had to gift a copy to Henry VIII, which he somewhat mocked by saying there's no way that England could afford to purchase a copy. So we're very fortunate to have one of these first editions in our collections here in the Rare Book Division. One of the most striking things about the Astronomicum Caesarium is its use of volvels. These are rotating discs used to do spherical geometry. There are more than 70 within the work, including the dragon volvels, so-called because they depict dragons. Dragons were thought to be tied to eclipses. It was thought that the dragon's tail is what came between the Earth, the Sun, and the Moon during an eclipse. And so what's interesting about the Astronomicum Caesarium is you get these lavishly illustrated volvels that are kind of a combination of astronomical thought at the time mixed with this sort of classical mythology about heavenly bodies and the interactions that they have on human beings and the Earth. Looking at the Astronomicum Caesarium, we find a tie-in not only with the history of astronomy, but also with the history of cartography. One of the things that a visitor to the Pulaski exhibition will notice is the breadth of the cartographic collections that are on display. These include things such as the Harmonia Microcosmica, which is a celestial atlas from the 17th century, all the way to modern depictions of the urban landscape, such as the original topography of Manhattan Island. It's important for the New York Public Library to collect and preserve maps because the history of cartography is reflective of cultural history across the world. Mapping traditions vary from people to people, culture to culture, but they also reflect a culture of book production, modification of knowledge that really can be a gateway and provide insight into our own times.